Flash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.
Good morning and welcome back to News Flash, of course. Want to say a very big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise for their support this morning. And of course, also to you for tuning in this Monday. We're expecting a very, very engaging week with you on all our shows. So stay interactive, send your messages, and let's hear from you wherever you're watching us. If you're watching from home, then why not get interactive on our WhatsApp line? And you're following us also on our various social media handles. Leave your comment there, and we'll definitely pick them up and share them accordingly. My name once again is Razak Musbao, and it's time for us to get into some of the issues that will be unfolding today, which we'll be talking about, all right? But before that, let me just also introduce Theophilus Jimega is a lawyer and a member of the NDC communication team. Counsel, good morning. Good to have you. Well, very good, very good, very good. I was monitoring on Newsfile this Saturday, quite heated with Dennis.
Yes, that's a precursor. I think we are warming up to know each other. So it promises to be different going forward. But a quick one, I don't know, I watched the GGA Awards. Yeah,
we'll get into it. We'll get into it briefly. Yeah, but you want to say something, you can go ahead.
I'm just worried and disappointed that you don't reward the backroom staff, those who produce, those who do the makeups, the cameramen in the studios, etc. They are never recognized. Why? GGA charity must begin at home. Yeah. So if they are listening to me, do something to them. Yeah.
Well, let's see. That's a call from council that GGA should find a way to recognize those in the backroom staff also. Okay, well, we also got the former Member of Parliament for Ablekuma Central, and is Honorable Ebenezer. He's here. And Honorable, good to have you. Good morning.
Good morning, Razak.
I hope you're well.
By God's grace. You know, weekends are very hectic.
I can imagine.
As politicians, attending funerals and
where were you this time around?
This weekend I was in Oda, then came back to the constituency to attend some other social activities as well. You know, on Sundays, now getting to the end of the year, if not harvest, there's an anniversary. So you have to attend all those.
Oh dear.
And child naming.
I tell you.
Oh dear.
But we choose to do it, so we'll continue to do it for the betterment of our constituents and the Mother Ghana as well.
Yeah, well, those are the other responsibilities of being a politician. It's a really big task there. Anyway, I want to get into the newspapers now, and I'm going to start with the Inside newspaper. And the Inside newspaper has attack on NIMOS, EPO officials of Agalamsey, Lands Ministry and Minerals Commission condemn it and vow tough stance against the menace. And also, you've got let's embrace the private sector as a partner in development, not competitor. KGL boasts to government and policymakers. And they also got K. Kujo takes on what Watley overlies in the British press about Mahama and Tokono's removal. Then the world once again condemns United States economic blockade against Cuba and add value to Ghana's gold. Minister tells new board for gold board jewelry. So that's the Inside newspaper here. And then let me bring you something also from the Publisher newspaper. It says SML defense contract legitimacy and John Bwedu enters chairmanship race, unveils 5-point revival plan. Hopefully we'll get to talk to him in the course of the days. And then Mahama to media, balance press freedom with ethical reporting. Balance press freedom with ethical reporting. That's on the Ghanaian Publisher there. And then you've got on the front page of the Daily Graphic, it says that 2024 GJ Awards, Sidiba tops all. And then you got, we will deepen press freedom, President Mahama at GJ Awards, and government medical scholarship must be for Ghanaian schools. Entrance University Chancellor appeals. Then supports mainstream media to grow, Asante Hene says. So those are the main stories on the front page of the daily graphic. And talking about the GJ Media Awards, Multimedia won big at the awards that was held. Quite a number of awards we picked up there. Sports Journalist of the Reporter of the Year, we picked that up. Student Journalist of the Year, we picked that up. Ekosisen also picked an award. Akan Station of the Year, Adum TV picked that up. Entertainment Show of the Year, Showbiz A to Z, also we picked it up. So you can see them over there. Number of awards that Multimedia picked up this morning over the week and at the award ceremony. So you can see best reporting in domestic tourism went to our colleague Anas Abed. Student Journalist of the Year, Clinton Yabwa. Best illegal mining reporting or human Tewia, of course. Fight against Galamsey it's almost a Multimedia, what do you call it, reports. Every day we are on it. Then Sports Journalist of the Year, of course, Muftar Nabila winning it for the second consecutive time. And then you've got Best Radio TV Program, Ghanaian Language 2026, Ekosisen on the Sampat there. Then Best Radio TV Program, English Language, The Probe also picked that up on Joy News. And Best Akan TV Station of the Year, Adum, and Best Radio Entertainment Program. So those are the awards that Multimedia picked up, and big congratulations to GJA and all our colleagues who continue to do excellent work. And of course, here Multimedia will continue to do our very best to shape public opinion. Now, let's get into our main stories for today. And let me just get quick thoughts. Multimedia, we continue to do our best, and got some quick thoughts on multimedia and its role in the media space.
Yes, you must learn from others who had excuse me, who had very big media empire. The former Italian Prime Minister. Again, excuse me.
Yeah.
We've had the news media core in the UK, US, and invariably somewhere along the line they become so big that they tend to consume themselves. I think Multimedia has done very well. I was only worried that I saw Adum as the Akan TV through Station of the Year. What of other languages? Ga, Ewe, Hausa, Dagbani? None? You don't have any of those ones? Spread a bit so that others will also feel. But all in all, your platform is a very huge one. You've worked over the years. I think they had some of the best over the years, and I think they're still churning some of the best over the years. I don't know whether you do your own feedback. There was a time they did one. I heard it well. But all in all, you are doing pretty well, and we hope you are able to sustain it. And so that others will benefit, others will copy from the best in class, and also emulate to be like that. But with being the majority player in the industry, there's also the tendency to be biased and tendency not to be objective. I was listening to Kwabena Yeboah the other day, and he was talking about his path as a journalist, and he talked about the fact that journalists are some of the least paid professionals in the country. And if someone is on 1,000 cities and writing a story and you chant 2,000 in front of the person for that story, the person is likely to kill it. But you must maintain your ethical standard. You just heard of BBC. The Director General resigned.
Apologizing to...
He has resigned.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and the Director of News Editing has also resigned. Do we have such culture here because of ethical standards? If not, you need to ramp it and get one. If you have, maintain it so that your brand will be unique going forward.
Honorable, you have worked with Multimedia over the years. You've been with us since.
Yes, let me say good morning to our viewers and good morning to Lawyer and you as well. Yes, let me say that I'm not surprised of the awards received by Multimedia, because when we mention the media houses in this country, one of the strong media houses that we have in this country, Multimedia is one. And when you look at the media house, the stations that you have, even outside Accra, and their performance, you can see that it is something that you deserve the awards given. We go to Ashanti region, for instance, we have Love FM, we have Inshira FM, just like you come to Accra, where you have the Joy News, you have the Adom, you have the Heat, and looking at the kind of programs you do, the educative aspect of it, the political aspect of it, the health aspect of it. I mean, when it comes to programs, I can see that about 90 to 95% of Ghanaians always tune their radio to Asempa from 2 to 6:30. The same percentage will have time to listen to Newsfar on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. The same when you go to Ashanti region, you have, how do you call it? Love Inshira. Now, when you check on the social media handles, Joy Prime in the morning trend a lot. So it tells you that, yes, people have been following the work of multimedia and the kind of work that you are doing. In as much that you are doing well, there are some bad notes within the media space. Just as lawyer said, that those at the back, now you are sitting here, everybody is seeing Razak, thinking that you are the person doing everything. What about your cameraman? What about those that are also pushing the machines to let viewers also listen? What kind of award are we giving to? How are we appreciating those people too as well? Is it a matter of those that will sit on set for people to hear them? Is it a matter of those that will go out to get information? When they get informations, when they bring the report, who send the report out to people to hear? It's those at the back. How do we also appreciate them? And then we come to your salary, which most of you always refuse to talk about it. Most of you, and we are the people who talk about it. I know a lot of media houses. I know a lot of people working in the media houses who now have decided to stop, to rather sell than working in a media house. Because you can be there for 6-7 months, you have not been paid. I know a station, I don't want to mention it, but for 8 to 9 months, the person has not been paid. And not only one person, a lot of the people. So if Razak has not been paid, how much more the one who came 6 months, 7 months ago, who goes out to bring the report? So I think that apart from everything, the owners of the media houses, as well as DGA, this should be one of the core things that the DGA president is supposed to do. To look at the well-being and the welfare of journalists in their various stations. It shouldn't be about talking. You need to sit down with Kwesi Chum and look at the salary structure of the workers so that they can also put in their best. The reason why you don't put in your best and you follow politicians and you end up by being an extended political party is that because of your salary. That is why at the end of the day, many journalists position themselves with political parties. And then when the power changes, some get V8, some get F-150, some get political appointment. But if you believe that, look, I'm worth of what I'm being paid, you think any journalist will follow a politician? Well,
that's a very profound point. That's a very profound one.
Nobody will follow a politician because he is being well paid.
Yeah. Well,
unfortunately, to conclude, unfortunately, now we are getting, I don't know whether all those who had opportunity to be sitting on radio and TV, who call themselves journalists, go through your training, go to GIJ to be trained, to become journalists. Because sometimes you listen to some of the radio stations, you ask yourself, now why we are journalists? No fast checks, no research, nothing. You just come and sit on radio and say all manner of the thing. At the end of the day, he will just come and apologize because he doesn't have the facts. But when we're growing, Giftia Fenidasi, this Chronicle man, Kofi Kumsin, Ben Efsen, Kwesi Pratt. I mean, you have this, I don't know whether he's still here. He used to be at TV Africa. He came to Adom. He was one of your directors. I don't know whether he's still around. I mean, the likes of Sefa Kain. I mean, these are people that, I mean, you can just, when they started, Cabra, Bibian Saba, these are people when we were growing up, when they mentioned their names. Yes, these people. All right. But today, you people following their stomach.
Anyway, let me just mention that Naya Sapon has also joined us. He's Deputy General Secretary and Political Aide to Alan Chamanti, Deputy General Secretary for United Party. He's also here. Well, I'm going to come to him very shortly, but I want to get in touch with my colleague Caleb, who has been following a story which has gotten the attention of many. It's a very troubling story. It has to do with a young boy whose dreams of playing football was truncated. He has lost his life, but what emerged relative to where he was training to become a professional footballer in the future is something very troubling. Now, if you've been following many of the platforms, you would have seen that story. The boy goes by the name Ransford, and he apparently, according to the reports we've gathered, was abused by his trainer. Now, the boy subsequently got ill, was hospitalized, and unfortunately lost his life at the age of 11. Now, the coach in question has been interrogated by the police. In fact, he's been, what do you call it, invited by the police. The police have released a statement, to that effect. He's been invited by the police. He's been interrogated by the police. He's denied the allegations that he abused the young man, but the young man apparently confessed to the mother. And that story, this story is not new. It's been there, but it has resurfaced now. And what we understand what we understand from the police is that the allegation against him is that this man, whom of course that's the coach you're seeing, he trains these young kids. And when the story first broke out, the academy where he was working suspended him when the story first broke out. And fast forward, the young man was in the hospital and eventually lost his life. The mother revisited the story and was asking for justice to be given his young boy who lost his life at the age of 11. Now, the point is that this coach here apparently is accused of sodomizing this young boy called Ransford, who ended up losing his life. And that allegation was all over the place. The police, again, invited him, interrogated him, and left him. But concerns have been, raised. If you look at some of the videos he himself recorded and the manner in which he was interacting with the boys, even raised further eyebrows if he should be allowed close to even the young boys again, because after he was suspended by the club, he returned and continued training. If an allegation is leveled against somebody like that, you would think he will be kept far away from young people. Now, one of my colleagues, Caleb, has been following the story. He is joining us via Zoom to help us appreciate more about this story. Caleb, if you can hear me, good morning and thank you very much for making time. Just help us understand what this is all about. Who is this man? Who is Ransford? And give us the latest relative to this case.
Right. Well, yeah, thank you. Good morning to you, and good morning to your guests in the studios, as well as your wonderful viewers and listeners. So this case, actually, like you rightly indicated, began all the way in January. And it began when the mother of Ransford decided to go on a show. And this is one popular show that tends to address issues of social vices, of scandalous nature, issue of sexual exploitation. And it was on a media house called Oyapa FM. Now, on that particular show, the mother of Ransford, as of January, Ransford was alive. And before I get into the details of the narration the mom gave on this particular show, let me just also mention that Ransford was 16 And he came all the way from the Ashanti region, Kumasi, to come train in Accra in a football academy called Siano Soccer Academy. And this soccer academy, we are being told, is located in Amasaman here in Accra. So when he did tell his parents that, he wanted to train, it was good. His parents decided to buy into his talent and brought him all the way from Ashanti region to participate in that training. Unfortunately, he went south. And this was on the back of a narration the mother gave on that particular show. And on that particular show, where the mom was narrating the son's ordeal, and again, let me rightly reiterate that this was in January. At that particular time, Ransford was alive. And so the mom did mention on that show that, she, after enrolling Ransford in that soccer academy, she received reports some weeks later that Ransford had gotten ill, and she was worried. But in a bid to follow up on the health of Ransford, her son, she lost connection with him. Now, she was told that means to reach out to Rashford to check in on him proved futile. She didn't hear of Ransford after she had primary reports that he had gotten ill. And this was a report Ransford gave to his mom. Now, she decided to take it up further that, I'm not hearing from my son. What do I do next? She went to the soccer academy this time around and found out that really her son was indeed very sick. And she had no choice but to take the son from the soccer academy to go to the hospital. But, she really didn't know what was happening. And when she decided to, the coach, who was clearly their facilitator and their guardian at that time, tried expressing some form of worry. And I want to use the word reportedly feigned worry, telling the mom that, he's not well, we'll take up the hospital bills, whatever happens, do tell us what happened in the hospital, the academy will take care of it. That was fair enough. She clearly didn't know what was happening to the son. So, she took up, she decided to receive that form of assurance given by the coach. She took the son to the hospital, and it wasn't getting good at all. And she reached out to the coach and asked that, okay, these are the medical bills. Again, the coach gave some similar assurance that, the soccer academy will take it. And again, she reportedly narrated that, at that point, the coach did indeed send some amount of money to be given to take care of the hospital bills. But Ransford wasn't getting any better. And she narrated again that Ransford went into a coma for 1 month. And it got dire, and things went south for Ransford. And in January, most of the time she did report it, Ransford was alive. And she did indicate that after, Ransford was going through some treatment, semen treatment, Ransford eventually opened up to his mom, and that the coach was having sexual relations with him. And for close to 3 months, this was taking place in the soccer academy, according to his mom. Ransford was being sexually abused by the coach for 3 months. And she narrated that, Ransford told her that there were cases where the coach would come into his room, promise to push him up the ladder in terms of, his rising football career. And he will only do that if, Ransford allows him, to get intimate in bed with him. And Ransford was 16, pretty much decided to take up the coach offer. You wouldn't want to, he was forced into it, so to say. And so she did explain that after Ransford opened up to him, every means to reach out to the coach again proved futile after paying and taking care of the medical bills at the preliminary stage of his treatment. Now, in February, Ransford passed on, unfortunately. And the man became...
Caleb, just yes. a little follow-up. When Ransford disclosed that the coach was having sexual relations with him to the mother, did the mother report it to the police even before going on TV to interact with Antenna?
Well, so details aren't exactly clear whether she reported it to the police, but we only know that she took it up to the police after Ransford passed on. And so the only means we know she took it up was to report to the soccer academy. That was when the suspension took place. So she didn't report to the police as at then. She only took it up to the soccer academy. I mean, she believed, or she probably thought that Ransford will heal from the ailment. So the suspension reportedly took place after the time she reported. And the report to the police only took place after Ransford succumbed to the injuries and the bed sores. We are told he eventually, suffered from the amount of abuse he did get from this coach.
Now, so fast forward. So the soccer academy suspended the facilitator after they got the report from the mother about what was happening, what happened to Ransford. Now we understand he returned to the academy, right?
Yes, we are told so, yes. So he returned to the academy, and I believe the reason the story had resurfaced is because he returned to the academy. I mean, the details are a bit scanty as when he returned to the academy, but I'm going to theorize and assume that between October through to November, this is when he returned to the academy. September, October, November, he returned to the academy. That is why the issue has resurfaced again, because again, when the mom realized that he returned to the academy, she decided to lead a one-man campaign. And this one-man campaign eventually was followed up by others who got wind of the story, celebrities, influencers alike, to decide to take it up. And that supports the mom. So after that campaign, her one-man campaign got to the attention. I mean, that is when the hashtag Justice for Ransford began. As we speak now, there's a petition that has amassed over 4,000 signatures that are calling for some justice to be given to Ransford. And I mean, safe to say that in as much as the wheels have grinded slowly, we are seeing some level of development. Because if I may, there's been some development from the gender ministry, but some development from the police. As at 7th November, the gender ministry decided to provide an update on the reported sexual abuse of the 16-year-old boy. And they did actually transfer the issue to the homicide unit of the CID headquarters at Amasaman Dostu unit for further investigations. Now, just some 24 hours after the gender ministry submitted a case of Ransford to the CID, the police also provided updates, like you rightly indicated. And just last week, Friday, we are told that Ransford was at the CID department going through some interrogation. And now on November 8th, the police provided an update on Ransford Owusu. And, well, they did confirm that indeed preliminary investigations established that after the death of Ransford in February, I mean, his mom reported to Amasaman, like I also mentioned. I mean, she only reported to the police after Ransford passed on.
So at the moment, the facilitator has been invited with the police. He's not under arrest. He's not with the police. He's home and he's been interrogated. Is that the case?
That is the case. That is the case. That is the case. And it's such a worrying development because I have gone across TikTok and I have come across a number of TikTok accounts that are trying to push videos of this coach. And I'm not able to tell which of these particular accounts are genuinely for the coach. But there's one particular account that has gone private. And I mean, this particular account used to put videos of he, the coach, fondling these boys, touching them. Some of these videos have already gone viral. And we've seen some of these boys, in one particular room, some in huge numbers. We could see another video of the coach with just one particular boy who appears to be fondled by this particular coach. And so, yes, we know that the police is trying to expedite proceedings and investigations. But as we speak now, the coach is, out. I mean, simply because, processes need to be followed rightly to ensure that they have enough evidence.
All right, Caleb. All right, Caleb, thank you very much. And of course, we know you'll be following this closely and we'll get in touch with you for more updates on it. That's Caleb, my colleague, following that beat there. And very unfortunate, the young boy, age of 16, has passed on now, and the mother is pushing for justice because the boy alleged before he passed on that the coach was having sexual relations with him, and that has generated uproar across many platforms, calling on states, agencies to ensure justice is done. Well, let me bring in Nanyao now. He's not joining us now. Good morning. Good to have you. I hope you're well.
Good to see you, my brother.
Yeah, I mean, good to see you.
Admiring
He's
you.
looking more and more fresh.
He's looking more and more fresh.
Oh,
yeah.
myself?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. It's good to be General Secretary of a party.
It's good to be a member of a party where you would have your peace of mind and you are focused and you know that principles and values are kept and appreciated. Yeah.
All right, let's get into this very story we are hearing. Very worrying one. Very, very worrying one. And, well, I don't know. It's quite heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. But first of all, I'll say good morning to my colleagues here and yourself and your production team. And also good morning to the members of my political party and leadership. We have just concluded and ended our regional interim executive onboarding.
Okay.
And for the 16 regions we are done with. And then it was a beautiful moment. We took some few days to do that. And over the weekend also I was in Brekum for the final funeral rites of a brother of mine's mother, that is Dr. Atabuatin's mother. And the reception I got from the Bono regional team of the United Party. In fact, I didn't know we had such a huge support base around there. It was overwhelming, and I did appreciate their efforts. Now, zooming into it, I would want to also congratulate your media house for the many awards that you swept. I think that it can be attributed to the hard work that you have been putting in all these while. I mean, if you monitor the space, you realize that, I mean, you have been very consistent in what you do. And I would want to also share in the view of Honorable Ebenezer that one thing that I know or I think should be dealt with is your remuneration and your welfare, which is very important as media men. I think that some of the owners of media houses over-exploit the young ones. You know, they use you so much for the work, and yet they pay very little. And they would always come to accuse government of not paying well. I think that once you are going out there seeking for sponsorship, seeking for other avenues of raising money for the media houses and for your organizations, in that same vein, they should also be taking good care of you and should learn to pay you well. The risk involved, sometimes I'm always up early, and sometimes 4 a.m., 4:30, and fine, what men can do, women can do. But if you, the men, are coming at 4 a.m., then the woman also would have to risk and also come because probably she's director or she's producer or she's a host. And I wonder, I mean, one time I asked one of your colleagues when she needed confirmation whether I was going to come or not, because I had earlier told her I was out of town. And at 4 a.m., she sent a WhatsApp. I asked her, what are you doing up? She says, I'm going to work. And I asked, are they coming to pick you or you are going to work? Because I was a bit scared for her at that time. And, you know, so we should be looking at that.
We'll keep doing our best,
But my brother, these things we are hearing from Ransford's story does not only happen with the media, the sports academy. Most of these organizations, non-governmental organizations and other organizations that seems to keep these children of ours and words of ours experience some of these abuses. And not only the abuses, but even in terms of the outcome of the talents and what they gain out of it, they go through a lot. When I saw the first video, I asked myself, would I allow my son or daughter in the hands of this gentleman, even his appearance scared me. I'm sorry. Even his appearance scared me. So after watching the videos, and this happened last night also, after watching these videos, I asked myself that with these sports academies, how is their licensing regime like? Which organization handles the licensing regimes of these sports academies? Because we have a couple of them scattered around, and you would hear that there is a sports academy over here, and when you go there, then you ask yourself what sort of academy this is. Because I know what with the little research we do, or we've read about sports academies, they are supposed to be nurturing talents, vis-a-vis taking care of their educational, their education also. And you go to some of the so-called academies and you would ask, what kind of learning can go on there? Are they just keeping people's children who have talents and trying to take advantage of them, or they are indeed doing what we call the sports academy activities? So we should, as a nation, I think that the sports ministry would have to take this up. I don't know if they do any form of monitoring and supervision of these academies.
Yeah.
But you can only monitor and supervise activities of bodies or entities or institutions when they are properly licensed and there is a laid down SOP.
Yeah.
You understand me? So we should be looking at how to properly make them align the licensing regime, what goes into it, so that we would have a standard and say that, listen, this is the standard if you want to operate a sports academy. Now, previously, if you would recall, many years ago, we had these orphanages all scattered around. Anybody builds one single room, says, I'm operating an orphanage.
Yeah.
Send the children abroad.
I'm sending the children abroad.
Yeah.
Exchange programs.
Yeah.
And they were abusing these children until the social welfare started these licensing regimes of these NGOs, started monitoring their activities. And I remember some few years back, there was one NGO that was closed down because they were feeding the children with expired
Food products.
food products.
I think
And
it's
some were even feeding them once a day. You understand? So we should be able to have these licensing regimes well set. And we should be able to set up a monitoring and supervisory body.
Yeah, because
that would be going around to check the activities of these sports.
Yeah, there are so many of them.
Indeed.
So many
These
of them.
gentlemen who are supposed to be training these children, do they even have what it requires to train or nurture a talent?
Are they even, not just even skill sets, are they even mentally fit to train young people?
The football or soccer space. Do they have the necessary certifications to be able to train these children?
I want us to get
these are very young talents.
Yeah, I want us to get into the main CJ discussion. So let me just land for you. So I just get quick thoughts from.
I think that this should not be a social media fight. Once these things have come out, I would entreat I know it has come to the attention of the IGP.
Yeah.
He should instruct the Criminal Investigative Department to get hold of this gentleman. The Ministry of Sports and it's now Ministry of Sports
and Recreation
should quickly send a team there to that so-called academy. They should halt all their activities. They should ensure they go with the social welfare. Get these kids, get them to the hospital to examine them. Because if these men are having unnatural carnal knowledge with these children, these hospitals can easily diagnose it.
Let me bring counsel in.
So that we take it up.
Yeah,
on the
quick one on this one, so we
yes, the law is clear that whoever has a carnal knowledge of a child of less than 16 years, whether natural or unnatural, has committed defilement, and the punishment is between 7 to 25 years, minimum 7, maximum 25. I'm really worried that as at the time the mother discovered this, we are not told whether she reported to the police. That is my worry. Because the position of the law is if the mother has reported, the young one would have been interviewed, interrogated, and recorded, so that could be used tomorrow. Now the young man is dead. Where's the chunk of what he has gone through? So I believe as parents, let us open up and know the development of our children too. I want to hit slightly on what my brother has said. We have child protection policies. These organizations have them. I guess that the Ministry of Gender should be working on this. Whoever is dealing with children must have child protection policies that are documented, that you can check to see if they are working really within the remit of the child protection policy. If the organizations don't have, I expect that the ministry by now will have a template for which you can just download and fill in and go by such a template. But the bigger picture is that we need to protect our young ones. The idea of defilement is so huge that the law doesn't smile on it at all. The law frowns heavily on it. And I also want to add that no child under 16 years can consent to sexual intercourse. No child. So if we progress and consent comes in, I believe it will not avail to the young man. You also mentioned that you ask him, is it that he's not been arrested, he's blah, blah, blah. Now, the police cannot interrogate generally without an arrest. Because if they begin to ask you questions, you can go. You are not under any compulsion. But for you to be able to answer, for them to be able to document that you are not answering, you should be under arrest. So the police would have arrested him, but had bailed him for him to continue doing what he might do.
Okay. Let me bring in Honorable now. Honorable, you want to have some quick thoughts on this one?
Yeah. For me, I think that the law needs to be dealt with irrespective of who the person is and where he is from. But my only challenge, listening to your colleague and the way he's narrating the story, I see some inconsistency on the side of the mother because when the issue came up, you went to pick your son, you sent him to the hospital. At that time, I believe that he'll be diagnosed of a particular disease. And if the person has been diagnosed of a particular disease, straight away you need to inform the academy that this is what has happened and this is what my son has said. But for the person to go to the hospital, come back to the same academy, have some issue, I mean...
Because he says that when the boy got ill, the mother told the academy expressed willingness to support, and later on, while the boy was in the hospital and the illness was not getting better, then he decided to open up to his mother what he was going through at the academy. And it's at that point that he told the mother that, well, the coach who has been training me has been taking advantage of me.
So when he was taken to the hospital, he was not diagnosed of this particular disease or that this is what is happening to him. Because definitely, the boy will definitely inform the doctor, because they will ask you, what is wrong with you? He will definitely tell them something. So if you wait at this time from February up to date, I think that's it's long overdue. But you see, just as my colleagues have said, people have taken advantage of academy, orphanage homes, and what have you, and doing things that they are not supposed to. At the moment they are being dealt with, then become an issue. Oh, somebody is trying to help people. I remember there was a case in I think Bodjasi, one of the orphanage homes there, about how the owner maltreats the children there, how she even gives the young ones, even some of them, to marriage, and I mean, some even into prostitution and all those things. And we'll talk about this matter. At the end of the day, we'll just leave it, and people will still be doing it. For me, I think as a matter of urgency, the coach needs to be arrested. They should arrest him. If possible, they should close down the academy, investigate the matter, and deal with the coach or any other, because look, it is this Ransford owner that has come out.
Yeah.
Do you know other people that is doing the same thing with them? If indeed it's true, do you know other people that he's doing it? The number of guys that he has done the same thing, and at this tender age, you are doing this to them, then they mean that they have no future, because all the things that you are telling them to do, and then they will not yield anything. Somebody have a talent, and he has come to be trained to become a footballer. Today, look at his end. He has passed away. So what has the parents achieved? Nothing. So for me, I think that the law needs to be dealt with, irrespective of who it is, irrespective of who owns the academy. It needs to be dealt with. But I even heard the same story about, somebody was telling me, I think on Thursday, about the same academy that they have for female as well. Okay. That kind of nasty thing is going on. But you see, these are the reason why sometimes when you talk, they will say that you are doing politics. But in this country of ours, when there's an issue, talk about it. Within a few days and months and weeks, that will be the end, and people get advantage and continue to do it. So I think I want to appeal to the police. We don't need to
wait for a formal
report. Exactly. Somebody to come. They should just go straight and arrest the person. Amasaman, I don't know who the commander is, but the previous commander, I know how straight it is. I want to appeal to them to do it. And then the Minister for Gender and Social Protection should also take this matter up, which I'm happy that I'm told that he has issued a statement. It shouldn't be just a statement. It should be a proactive decision that he needs to take. It shouldn't be like the 16 young youth who passed away that people were calling on her even to sympathize that she refused. I want to appeal to her. She's a mother. She's a member of parliament. She's a minister for gender and social protection. He should take it as a project to ensure that this matter is dealt with according to law.
Well, we are definitely going to follow it closely from our end here. I think one of the things that I really appreciate is the fact that the sports ministry needs to start a holistic review of some of these academies, especially these informal academies. You go to a community, they say they've got an academy where they are training young boys. They are not even housed, they come every morning. We need to look at that whole system very well. We need to look at it, because in some of these academies even, these young boys go to train, they get injured, and their life they are abandoned, they are left, and they now have to find a way to survive. You know, we need to look at it. Yes, we want talent. Yes, most of our great players have come out of some of these small teams in our communities, but we need to look at it closely. We need to look at it closely and ensure that the right things are done. Okay, now later today at 11, Parliament says they are going to vet the Chief Justice nominee. In fact, last week, the minority in Parliament had moved a motion asking the Speaker to block the vetting, insisting that, well, some processes are in court. And for that reason, those processes ought to be exhausted before the vetting of the new nominee is done. But Speaker says, no, they'll go ahead and do the vetting, and the vetting is slated for today. Now, earlier, the minority indicated that they will not boycott the vetting. They will not boycott the vetting. They said they will not boycott the vetting, although they do not want the vetting to go on. They will not boycott it. They will be there. So today, we just want to try to preview the vetting and appreciate what is likely to happen at the vetting. What is likely to happen at the vetting. And this whole concern about this whole replacement of the CJ is, there's a lot of politics surrounding this. So we want to try and break the things down. Let me also come back to Honorable Eben. I mean, your party's position on this matter is very clear. They think that the nominee, in fact, was it the minority leader who said that the Chief Justice is Gertrude Tokonu. He says he doesn't recognize Bafubon. He said the Chief Justice is Gertrude Tokonu, and that is who they continue to see. Well, what do you make of this?
All right. So on Friday, when the leader of the House, normally in Parliament, Fridays, the leader of the House presents the following week business. So, and when a business statement is being presented, members have the opportunity to ask questions if there are some omissions or if there are some other related issues that members feel that need to be discussed in that week. So in that context, that is where the minority leader raised a concern when it was raised that there's going to be a vetting of the president nominee as to the Supreme Court. And he raised the issue that, look, for the minority, they believe that the nomination, the vetting of the Chief Justice should not come on. And the reason being that there are some court cases that need to be dealt with because it's all in relation with the suspended Chief Justice. So if we have suspended someone, and if you have suspended, you choose to remove. If the suspended Chief Justice matter is still at the court, then they believe that there's no need for Parliament to vet another person. Because if Parliament vets the person, pre-assuming vets the person today, and tomorrow presents the report to Parliament, and Parliament approves of it, then meaning that we have two Chief Justices. So he is of the view that, look, no, why not we allow the court process to go on? Because the Constitution gave provision that in the absence of the Chief Justice, there can be
an acting Chief
Justice. So his acting capacity is still old. He can act whilst the matter is being dealt with. The minority, I'm also informed, I've also written to the president to find the status of the two petitions sent by Yusuf Garuba and other in respect of the same Chief Justice, the acting Chief Justice, that what is the locus of these petitions?
And those petitions seek to remove the acting Chief Justice.
I don't know the details about it. I don't know that, but there has been a petition, and they are finding out from the presidency that what is the status of the petition that you have received. No answer has been given, and you are saying that we should go and vet the acting. I was just talking to one colleague of mine. I was just, look, for me, I don't think that there's even a need, even for the minority, to be dragging this issue. Because because I watched the majority chief whip, the kind of words that he was using on the floor. My own friend and brother, Dafia Mopo, we vet it. There's nothing you can do. We have made up our mind. So it means that the mindset is already being made.
But the challenge with the position of the minority is that you're saying that because the matter is in court, the vetting should not proceed. We know court cases can drag, so we should be without a Chief Justice for as long as the matter is in court?
But he's acting as a Chief Justice, and is appointing judges to be handle cases.
So he should continue to act as Chief Justice, even if the case will be in court for 4 years.
What stopped him? So let me come back to what
But at the moment, we know, based on the law, the president has removed the Chief Justice. It was captured in his statement. The committee presented the findings and went ahead.
Can you tell me the recommendation that the president based on it to suspend the Chief Justice? What ground did the president stand on to remove the Chief Justice?
The president referred to the Puan committee.
And what was the committee's,
findings?
What was the committee's recommendation?
Well, it has to do with matters relating to some money he received.
What did they say? Have you seen the reports?
But the problem was sent.
Have you seen the reports? Have you seen that? That's why I'm saying I was telling my colleagues that, look, you don't need to even fight about these things. prosperity will judge all of us. Because even the president has even appointed NDC officers at the courts.
How do you know the NDC?
The president says that, and I'm referring to what he has said, that at the NDC conference, he said that the NPP has packed the bench with their lawyers to become judges. So if you are also appointed within 11 months, you can also appoint 69 of them. Are they not the NDC people? Based on what he said, are they not also NDC people?
But you have
so he has also appointed.
You have to check each person.
Did he check? Did he check the lawyers, the judges at the Supreme Court and then High Court? Did he check before coming to make that statement?
So based on that, you're assuming that all other persons were appointed?
Based on what he said. He's the head of this country. He has been a four-term member of parliament. He has been a minister for communication. He has been a vice president. He has been a president. So if such a person is telling me something, I believe what he's telling me. That the judges at the Supreme Court, at the High Court, and the lower courts, they are all NPP members. So he encouraged NDC people, NDC lawyers. In fact, he didn't say it at a rally. He said it when he met NDC lawyers. That look, try to take up responsible position when we win power in 2024 because these are NPP people. That's why I'm saying that the 69 people that he has appointed them and swore them, they are all NDC branch executives. Some of them are national officers of the NDC. Some of them are regional officers of the NDC. Per what he is saying.
So your position, because you mentioned earlier that you will even want the minority to stay away from the vetting. I'm
not saying they should stay away from the vetting. What I'm saying that I don't see why they will even fight over this, that we shouldn't even have the vetting. Because no matter what it is, when you're looking at the posture of the majority chief whip and also even the majority leader, their mind is made up. And they have the majority on the committee. You have the first and second, you have the speaker and the first deputy speaker who are members of the NDC. So what do you expect? What do you expect? And they have 182. What do you expect?
Well, what do you personally think, so that I can come to lawyer? What do you personally think about Paul Bafuboni? Do you think he's incapable of doing the job? Taking over, continuing from where Tokonu left?
From what the accusation and the petition leveled against Tokonu, the same allegations and the same issues have raised against Bafuboni. Bafuboni have traveled with a wife. So if you are saying that I travel with my husband and my son or my daughter, and therefore because of that I should be removed from office, and you are appointing somebody who has also traveled with a wife.
Except in this case, it has to do with allowance received.
Is the Chief Justice Tokonu the Director of Finance at the Supreme Court? Is he the Director of Finance?
So you think...
The last time I was telling you that here, when I was in Parliament, when we are traveling, it is not the Speaker who determines how much will be given to a member of Parliament. It's the account department. And they will do everything and give you a ticket and you travel. So what crime has the person committed? That's why I'm saying that, look, this is an agenda of the NDC. In fact, when they were campaigning, they assure us of institutions that they are going to remove people. They talk about the Supreme Court, they talk about the High Court, they talk about the police, they talk about the military, they talk about the Navy, every institution that in this country that is appointed by the president, they said they are going to remove them. So I'm not surprised about what is going on.
All right.
But it is a precedent that has been set. And all those that have been given appointments should also know that their term of office goes with the president. So if the president leaves in 2029, their term of office has also ended.
Counsel.
I really will beg of you to allow me to dissect this. I beg you. For the first time, let me handle him politically. One question you asked him about the petition that was made against Justice Bafuboni, he said he doesn't know the content. All of a sudden, he turns around to tell you that it's the same thing against Tokonu, that is the same thing against Bafuboni. But when you were talking, I was quiet. Please be quiet. Please be quiet.
Please.
Now, please be quiet. I want to put on record that no NDC executive has been appointed to any of the benches. No NDC executive has been appointed to any. Indeed, out of the 65 judges that have been appointed, only 3 had not previously been judges. Only 3 had not been previous judges. Now, out of those that have been appointed, 82% were appointed by Nana Akufo-Addo, those who have been promoted. Those promoted to the High Court.
The High Court.
Only three had been, and those three had been state attorneys. They had never been ordinary persons promoted. No. So, and these were circuit court judges that were elevated to High Court. And they were appointed under Nana Akufo-Addo. So if those appointed under Nana Akufo-Addo were NDC executives, as he wants us to believe, then they were very good to have been picked by Nana Akufo-Addo. Again, you see, one round they said that suspended Chief Justice. In another round, they said we have two Chief Justices. Let it be known today, we have only one acting Chief Justice. Justice Araba Isaba Saki Tokonu is a CJ emeritus. He is gone, finito. She's not coming back. If anybody is under the illusion that Tokonu will come back today, that train has departed. That junction, we have moved from there.
But do you appreciate the concern by the minority that you've got a case in court?
I'm coming to deal with that. I said, allow me to the thoughts to flow. The other thing we should know is that life will not come to a halt because we have removed Justice Araba Tokonu. Life will not come to a halt. Indeed, if we wait, and all those cases, granted that we are in a perfect world, those cases are resolved this week, and next week she goes to court again, we wait. And that's dealt with, then she goes to court again, we wait. Life will be incurably slow. And all of us will have to pander to her whims and caprices. We cannot do that as a country. That will be a judicial instability. We cannot afford that. Never. We need a judicial stability for the country to progress. Justice Araba Tokonu is removed. She isn't coming back. I am only a bit disturbed that those who are complaining now today that people have been wrongly removed are telling us that wait, when we get the chance, we'll remove people wrongly. If you feel it is wrong today, chart a new path so that we'll all follow. Look, let me come back to this as well. The vetting of Justice Bafo-Boni. Again, you see, why are they scared of Justice Bafo-Boni? He was appointed to the High Court, the Court of Appeal, to the Supreme Court by the NPP government. Why are they afraid of him today? And I said it on this platform that I watched Paul Adomotri and Befi, the MP, what's his name?
Michael Ochibef.
Yes, the MP. When he was talking about the fact that when the CJ is suspended, Bafo-Boni will be acting, both of them said that is scary. They know something we don't know.
Yeah, because it's an NDC member.
Okay, today Bafo-Boni that was appointed by President Kufuor and had been there until Akufo-Addo's time is an NDC member. Oh, you see, when you are behaving this way, there are certain things.
But isn't the concern much more about the process that led to him getting into this position, the process, the whole removal process, and the concerns about the fact that it was probably not fair?
The whole removal process. Look, we are not pondering about somebody looking at it whether fair or wrong. GBA, the association that I belong to, in their first release said that so far everything had been good.
And the second release?
Okay, the second release that 16 people were forced to sign a resolution said that this. Look, where did it go to? And we saw the public backlash to that. Again, let's come back to the idea about the vetting. There are certain rules that are not written. You are behaving this way against somebody who is going to head the judiciary. It will not be written that they should push back. But inherently, they will be pushing back. And that is unfair. So please, let us allow the vetting to go on. Then the petition against Bafo-Boni, let me ask with all sincerity, is the petition for his removal as acting CJ or his removal as Justice of the Supreme Court?
Well, as for the details of it, not too familiar, but I am familiar that there's a petition.
So we don't have the Constitution telling us that anybody can be removed as acting CJ. So you can only remove him as a CJ or as a Justice of the Supreme Court. If it's a Justice of the Supreme Court, who handles the petition? It goes back to the Chief Justice. So the petition against his removal will go back to him. That is why I said that Tokonu cannot come back in any capacity again as a Justice of the Supreme Court.
What do you expect from the vetting today? Is there anything, any highlights you're looking forward to?
Yes, I expect that he will tell us his vision. He has been there for a long time. He's seen it all. He's been there for a long time. He will give us what he expects to changes he expects to implement. And I also expect that whether MPs like it or not, if they misbehave, marshals will be called to throw them out. He knows that they won't allow that. But for Afenyo Markins to say that the vetting will not come off, and you see that there was another release from the majority leader that says the vetting will come off today. Why do you have to do that? You are not the one who decides the business for the day, except he wants to tell me that it's the minority leader who decides business for the day. Why will you say that? It is on the business order, the order paper for today, 10 o'clock. Look, go grab a cup of coffee, get your popcorn, relax. You will be taken through tutorials of law this morning. Wherever I am, I'm going to watch. Because, believe you me, this man is made up of a lot of legal sense, and he would like to teach all of us today. So I pray that instead of displaying some kind of bravado, needless, I pray that they come ask relevant questions for us to learn and build ourselves. And finally, I want to add that the idea that he's saying, Honorable Roxton says, we have made up our mind. If they've not made up their mind, why is it on the business paper? We were here. We were in this country. This same Honorable Roxton Daframekpo filed a case at the Supreme Court against the vetting of president's ministers. What happened? The vetting went ahead. We have the precedents.
But you see, the concern also is the posturing of the majority, and even your party. It does appear that you are so happy to see Bafuboni in the role as Chief Justice, and that appears to raise some concern about why is a political party happy that a certain individual is going to head the judiciary.
Oh, good. I asked this. Let's reverse the question. Why is a certain political party unhappy to see somebody being the head of the judiciary? And why is a certain political party unhappy that somebody has been removed?
But why are you happy? You answer yours first.
Yes, I've answered it throughout all I'm saying, that Bafuboni has the experience. Bafuboni, until being at the Supreme Court, was appointed by the NPP government, not by NDC. So if he was appointed by NPP government, and we have seen something good in him to bring him to become the, again, let's be honest here, he's the senior most at the Supreme Court. He's the senior most. If Tokonu had been the senior most, one of the things I would have expected she would have enjoyed would be support from all her colleagues. The senior most. And there has been agitation and advocacy that let us make it a convention that only the senior most becomes the Chief Justice. That way, then we are all happy. So the idea that NDC is happy, assuming that perception is correct, is that Bafuboni had gone through the mill from the High Court, Court of Appeal, Supreme Court. Bafuboni was appointed by President Kufuor and has also gone through, and Bafuboni was appointed by NPP government, and we have seen something good in him as a good judge and a good administrator to head the judiciary. That is all.
What's the position of United Party on this whole matter?
Number one, our judicial service cannot grant to a halt. Because somebody thinks that she has not been fairly treated. You understand? If you read the Article 1254, it summarizes the work of the Chief Justice. Talks about the Chief Justice being the person who is in charge of judicial administration and judicial supervision. And so for us to halt this whole process, it means we are bringing that arm of government to a standstill.
But he mentioned there's an acting Chief Justice who so far has been managing things.
That's what I'm coming to. How long would we have an acting Chief Justice? 10 years? 40 years? 50 years? Is that what we're looking out for? You think that Madam Gertrude is going to give up any soon? No, she won't. And I am happy. All the steps she's taking, because it would enhance our judicial and legal education. The lawyers, you have something you call the jurisprudence.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
That is
The science of law.
the science and the study of law is going to help us.
Yeah.
You understand me? And so I am excited about how she is moving. This would also inform a national dialogue to have a real look at Article 146 to see whether or not it ought to be amended. Because now we have all come to agree that there is some form of lacuna that ought to be dealt with. We've all come to agree that probably the procedures in Article 146 should be tightened. But until then, 146 has been followed properly. Unless otherwise, we think that there has been a breach. But I would ask you, in as much as you have been asking us the questions, do you think, following this case, Article 146 was not walked through well?
Well, every process was exhausted.
Every process was exhausted.
The defendants raised concerns that they were not given fair hearing.
It's not about the defendant or not. I'm talking about what is in the Constitution. Was it followed? Yes, it was.
Are there any...
and let me tell you this. The 14610A talks about a warrant that is to be signed by the president.
Yeah.
Let it be on record that constitutionally, once that warrant is issued, is signed, finito, the person as Chief Justice is removed. And you see, when you rush to do things, you would end up messing a lot. The person who petitioned the president against the acting Chief Justice should have been informed that in his acting capacity, he cannot be removed. The president can choose to change him any day in acting capacity. But if he probably had petitioned the president in Bafuboni's capacity as Supreme Court judge, that would have been a different ball game. Then he wouldn't have even gotten the opportunity to become Chief Justice. But you would go to petition against him as acting Chief Justice. And what happens?
Let's come to the veteran today. Are there any things you are hoping to see?
We have a lot of expectations. And today, we would plead with the Appointments Committee. The Appointments Committee set up by Parliament is not a place to settle scores. It is not a place to exhibit whether or not you know legal jargons or you speak better English. There are a lot of issues that has to do with the judicial service. Bafuboni's expertise as a lawyer and as a judge, administrator, it cannot be challenged in any way. What we should be seeking, or what we seek to hear, is whether or not he has plans for the judicial service. One, their infrastructure. Two, their welfare. The physical evidence, when you get into our courts, is embarrassing. Late, we've seen some of the, district courts trying to renovate their structures and other things. But my brother, it's so embarrassing. A place where you are going for justice, and you would enter, and the place itself needs justice.
So infrastructure is key for you?
Infrastructure is key. The physical evidence, the welfare of the staff is very key. How is he going to improve it? The other things has to do with whether or not we will be capping, or he will be leading the crusade to cap the Supreme Court.
He will be leading the crusade to cap the Supreme Court.
Whether or not.
And the one even appointed him promised to cap the Supreme Court. What has happened?
But you want a capping of the Supreme Court?
We do. We can't keep packing people there.
Okay.
All right. So we should be looking at his administrative abilities. That managerial skill You understand me? Not the legalities and the constitution and going into the details. Yes, of course, they can go in one or two. But in as much as the Chief Justice's position is what do you call it? Is an academically bracked position. You know, you have to be a lawyer before you and a judge before. Yeah, so he's in that bracket. We should be looking at his managerial skill.
All right, let me.
And whether or not that aspect of the constitution that talk about the being the head of administration and the head of the supervisory and that role of playing as a supervisor, he can indeed deliver.
Let me read a few messages. This one from Major in Nalerugu says, congratulations to Multimedia for the awards. Keep up the good work. And he says, don't be influenced by anyone. Then this one says, good morning. Okay, congratulations to all award winners. Government increasing public sector workers' salary by 9%. Confirmed that the NPP left our economy in good shape, but not the picture that the QNet government painted. From 10 to 9 means our economy is performing poorly. Then you've got Musa Abattoir in Asawasi says, it's abundantly clear that the fight against Galamsey has reached crescendo because the Galamseyers are gradually turning into rebel-like group. But I have confidence in government ability to deal decisively with this existential threat, he says. It says, good morning. I am very sad this morning as a Ghanaian worker. Last year, President Mahama told workers to accept 10% base pay. We promised to do better than 10% next year. Now he has brought it down to 9%. Interesting. He says time will tell. Okay. Then some other message from Al-Hassan. Al-Hassan says, okay. Al-Hassan says, good morning to everyone. Let me use the opportunity to congratulate all journalists across the country, GG Awards. And, okay, then he says, let me congratulate the finance minister for the yeoman's job that he's doing with our economy and the engagement that he's been having with the market woman. To the micro minority, the CJ nominee will be vetted and possibly approved for Ghana to move on. The seat of the CJ is not the bona fide property of Madam Tokono, he says. Then maybe one last message. He says, it is sad how government is treating workers in this country. Strangely, for the past 30 years, which is in between NDC, have been in office, NDC government have never increased salary past double digit. 9% salary increment is an insult to the Ghanaian workers. This one says, the position of the NPP on the Chief Justice issue is illogical. Ask the NPP if the e-levy case in court was heard before they rushed to pass it in Parliament and the President assented to the bill. Please, okay. This one finally may be from Alhaji Hamza from Pig Farm says, good morning. Vetting of CJ is coming on today, and whoever is not happy about it should proceed to court to stop it. It is the responsibility of Parliament to do so as an arm of government. The position of Chief Justice is not a personal property of the former Chief Justice. Okay, Daniel also has got his message there. Well, that's it. We have to be wrapping up, but Honorable Eben, 1 minute, one minute, then we can go. Quick one.
Yeah, as I said, the minds of the majority has been made. The president has already promised the NDC appointees, the NDC lawyers, the NDC judges, as to what he's going to do for them when mandate is given to him. The mandate has been given to him. He's fulfilling his promises to the NDC judges, and so therefore is appointing them to the benches. If I don't think anybody in this country is afraid of Bafuboni. But as Tokono said, the law is the law. If the mindset, the agenda of the NDC is that let's pack our judges to the courts to intimidate people, to prosecute people, prosperity will judge all of us.
All right.
And they will not be in power forever. And just as I said, all those that have been given appointments, they should also bear in mind that their appointment as judges is the same
Period as a president.
Period as a president.
Council, 1 minute. So we can
Yeah,
go.
quick one. As I keep saying, I don't actually know he appreciates what he's saying, because he said right now that NDC judges have been appointed to the benches. No NDC judge has been appointed to any bench. Earlier,
I'm
he
just
said,
referring to what the
he said
president
that the
has said.
president has spoken to NDC lawyers.
Yes.
So which one? Is it the judges or the lawyers? Which one? We don't. Again, let me be clear here that the tenure of judges is not tied to any political party. We have security of tenure. That we know. The ones today saying it's not good are saying that if they continue along this way, Ghanaians are watching. They'll be in the wilderness for a long time to come.
Well,
and my greetings to my folks in Huawei. Huawei guys,
said the same thing.
I miss you all. Thanks for honoring the memory of our youth organizer who passed on, and we buried him last week.
Yeah, now, just briefly so we go. Yeah.
My brother, sometimes you need to set the record straight. And there is banter. I have not seen any Supreme Court judge being tagged as a member of the NDC. But at least I know Justice Ernest Yao,
Look at you.
who was
Look at
the
you.
NPP who Central parliamentary candidate
Look at you.
and was appointed to the Supreme Court in 2023 or so. Was it 2022?
You need to add.
So you see,
You need to ask
when we are
your
doing
party
some
because
of these
you are a
things,
subset of the NDC. So
the point is that I am not against a politically exposed person being a judge or not. We all have our beliefs and we all belong to some ideologies.
Yeah.
You understand me? So in any case, if the person belongs to a political party and is appointed, it is a person it is Ghana that has appointed a person, and the person should be responsible enough to then occupy that position as a statesman.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
So let's leave that. But then on the Chief Justice case, I would also want Parliament to be looking at the Appointments Committee, to be looking at the work of the Constitutional Review Committee with him. You understand me? Because that is an ongoing work.
Yeah.
And they should be able to tease his mind on some of these issues.
Well, guys, thank you very much for tuning in.